Hi, I'm Nick from the Soweby's Kings Lynn office, and today we're in Wigan Hall St Germans to take a look at this substantial period property. And if a project is what you're after, then Whitehall behind me here could be just the thing for you. This expansive property sits in approximately 7 acres of land, stretching along the banks of the Great River Ouse and just a stone's throw from the local market town of Kings Lynn. Although there are signs of expansion, the original dwelling is believed to date back around 330 years, firmly embedding it in the history of its surrounding area. Let's make a start in the internal aspects, and we're straight through the front door there into this good sized reception room. It's likely been utilised in a multitude of ways over the centuries, but probably more recently as a formal dining room, or as is currently an entrance hall. The property forms very much an L shape, and we're currently standing at the midpoint. Back behind me is what we suspect is the newer portion. It's difficult to tell, but let's explore what we think is the older elements first. It's evident that the rooms are packed with period features, but you have all the basics here to really create that merge between period charm and modern contemporary living. There's plenty you'd retain in this room, with the wood panelling, open fireplace and sash windows. If this room is anything to go by, it's a great sign of things to come. So I've transitioned back down the corridor now, and we're going to make our way into the more recent part of the house. But of course, when I say recent, I don't think we're speaking of the last few decades. It's still oozing character, but I feel it's worth mentioning at this point that there's no listing on the property, which offers significant scope to altering the layout of the property. And don't be afraid of knocking the odd wall down. And speaking of playing with the layout, we find ourselves in the kitchen, where I think that would benefit the most. Already well presented and of a good size, its neighbouring rooms are crying out for further expansion. And this is where the 21st century stamp could really be felt in this property, creating an enormous open plan kitchen dining space. And before we head upstairs, I just had to bring you in here, as it's such a fun room with all manner of styles. Personally, I'd pop in a hot tub, perhaps even a sauna, but equally it could be your classic garden room. Heading to the first floor now, and this Georgian staircase is one of the many parts I don't feel you'd look to alter. It just needs a bit of TLC. So at this point, we'd usually talk about the number of bedrooms and bathrooms the property has to offer. But as you can imagine, the format by way of geography and room proportions is very much reflected up here. And I don't think you'd be surprised to find that not all the rooms have been given over to bedrooms, and I had to bring you in here. It's a generous additional reception room and copies that which we saw earlier in the video. And in very much the same way, is packed with an abundance of odysseys and elegance. I think you've got the idea, and I shan't walk you through all the rooms up here, but I've brought you into this one with good reason, and that's to show you this unusual secret door to the attic space. And here we are in one of 2 extraordinary spaces. Attic rooms are always popular in conversions, and although not necessarily needed, there's great potential here. Both the building and its grounds feel like very much a blank canvas, ready for the new owner to bring it into the 21st century. There's an eclectic mix of features to the outside space, including this lovely summer house just here, and a view through the arch behind me speaks for itself. Honing in on the detail now, we know this is a project and we're not shying away from that fact. These outbuildings here are rather generous in footprint, and I think the potential of them is only really limited by your own imagination. Well, thank you very much for joining me for what I think you will agree was a rather fascinating tour of Whitehall. And of course, if you have any further questions about this property or would like to arrange a viewing, do get in touch with us using the information on the screen now.